Last year, I was an exchange student in America, in the state of Hawaii, and I got to experience a real high school in America. It was just so crazy how different our system is from the American system. I experienced so many things that you will never hear about it in Ukraine, like paddling or marine science and photography club. You can try anything you want, and it's almost for free. And in Ukraine, we don't have such opportunity. One more thing is that you can choose your own subjects at school, so you can start thinking about your career from the high school. Like, if you like languages, you can choose as many languages you want, or if you like science, you can take 2 or 3 subjects of science. And in Ukraine, there are only obligatory subjects that have to take everybody to get to the university. And I think that Ukraine has to improve and get to the level of American education. And I think that Wisconsin International University in Ukraine is moving in the right direction.
Since the age of 16, I understood that I loved sciences, and of course working in a lab in the US was something I dreamed of. And having this vision of a dream place, of a place where dreams come true, to work there was hard understanding what the values there really are. But after visiting the US, there are a few lessons I've learned, and that shaped, I think, my vision of which values supposed to be given to the humanity, to the society, to the students, and the values that I share with my students and my peers here at WIUU. So I guess that when coming to the US, especially to California, San Francisco, Oakland, this is the place with the most open-minded people, which I love, completely love. And also you see that they have sort of a choice. You see that the decisions that people make give their consequences. And additionally, just the fact of seeing the diversity and how people engage with each other, it gives you a realization that with some sort of skills and confidence, you always have a choice. You always have a choice whether to improve or not. And that was clearly stated, because there are no excuses. You do have a choice. Second thing that I also really enjoyed, and something that my father has been always telling me, and he's actually from the United States, is as long as you keep knocking on the door, there will be someone who opens the door to you. Because such an example, again, with sciences, when in the US, I wasn't a student, but I stayed a lot at the Berkeley campus, and there were open classes for whether you're a student or a tourist. You could just come to the lecture and listen. And by the way, I knew almost nothing about the subject at the beginning, but at the end I understood much more than I would have understood with the approach that I get, for example, in our system usually.
What is democracy? First of all, it's not a government. Democracy is a way of thinking, a responsibility. Democracy nowadays is almost everywhere in the world. Talking about my own experience, I would like to express my impression about democracy in the United States. Last year, I was lucky to spend my year in the amazing state of country music and cheese, Wisconsin. First of all, I understood that America is a country of equality and freedom. As Abraham Lincoln once said, that democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And it's something I realized only after talking to my host family, friends, and people of my community. I realized that people of the United States has something that, in theory, we also have, but not in practice. They have power of their voice. They have power of their decisions. They can do whatever they want, and they can choose whatever they want. As Roosevelt once said, that democracy cannot be succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. And it's something I strongly agree with. People in Ukraine are not prepared to choose wisely. They are not politically educated. But kids, teenagers in USA already know everything about this topic. All in all, I would like to say that democracy of United States is a great example for Ukraine to follow. And in my opinion, kids of Wisconsin International University in Ukraine are the ones who are going to make these changes happen.
For me, there are several things that associate with the US. First of all, it is freedom. Freedom in what you do, how you think, how you look. So freedom in everything. Moreover, it is like places of the US. For example, New York City, Los Angeles, Miami. These places have awesome pictures. As for me, I've never been to America, but I'm dreaming of it strongly. Secondly, America is for me something with modern inventions, including Apple, including Elon Musk with his Tesla and SpaceX companies, as these companies are our future, as they develop modern technology. US is freedom, democracy and inventions for me. And I think that students of WIU as a part of the US, a small part of US in Ukraine, we have these opportunities and we can develop our country, Ukraine, to become as awesome as the US.
Talking from the business perspective of America, as you all know, that it's actually the strongest economy, having biggest multinational companies with some biggest influential names like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Tim Cook, and you know about their companies for sure, I know. Well, how they managed to reach that kind of level, was there any fast way to it? I don't think so. Actually, I believe that from my own personal experience, they were actually following up with some specific footsteps. Probably from some experienced people, probably some kind of out-of-the-box processes. But at the end of the day, it was their effort. It was the way they took everything for them. Like how they understood that time was money and time is still money for them. They were basically to the point with each and every step when they were developing their business. They will always corporate. And advantages of that, you see that there is a limit with the liability. They're treating the tax very good. And their companies, I believe, are everlasting. How they got to it? By professionalism, by having a word of mouth, by being pragmatic. What they did understand, and I do understand at this day, getting back into a university, that books are not only to read and just give exams. I believe books are actually something you have to, have your own approach to them and understand how to bring those words into your practical life or business. All right? On the other hand, I will see that technology have been actually having a big influence on different businesses, on big corporate businesses. For example, they're like the new technology stuff, like for example CRMs, for example cloud-based softwares, for example like artificial intelligence. I believe that they have played a very important role in developing such big corporations in the American market. And what is the advantage of that? It's actually bringing less labor extensive to the American market, which is of course good for American economy. And of course now we do understand why America is the biggest economy of the world.